The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Kaufman and Lind at whenyouneedus.com. If you're injured in a car accident or any other injuries, give them a call 407-706-3535. That's whenyouneedus.com.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but did I mention that I bought a robot on the podcast?
No, but you definitely sent video to us or to me. I know you bought a robot, but I don't think you talked about it.
Not a sex robot. Although maybe anything's a sex robot if you're creative enough. I guess.
Chris, I think when you sent me that video, I asked you, is that a sex robot? And,
I think you might have. It's like, I think I can spin this to him because this is a really high-tech security system. So he loved the idea, and we ordered Astro, and he came in a couple days. I set him up in my apartment, and wow, this thing is weird. So he's sitting on the dock. He's sitting on his dock, and then all of a sudden, without even commanding him to do anything, he starts coming off the dock, and I look at his screen, and he goes, heading out. I'm like, where are you heading to? And
he's like, mind your business.
I kid you not. He starts rolling away, and he makes like a sound when. So he's like eating away, and I look at his, and he's like looking for a place to hang out. I'm like, what business do you have hanging out? And I kid you not,
you effing robot.
He goes into the living room, and it says found a place to hang out, and he faces the TV and sits there for an hour and a half watching TV. I'm not. I wish I was making this up.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on the Instagram, the Facebook, the YouTube, the TikTok, the Snapchat, just go to our website. All of our links are there. That's nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise. I just got my Halloween shirts in today. I got one for myself, my wife, my girls, and then my skeleton out front. And then also you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. That's our Patreon. And for as little as $1 a month, you can watch us record live and chat, interact. And you know what? If you come up with a really funny idea, maybe we'll put your segment on the show, just like we do with Ryan's Jersey Man versus Florida Man. My name is Scott. I am the host. With me, as always, I'm an architect for her pain, the queen of sleep deprivation, Mary.
Mary.
And our other co-host, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
They're here.
Oh, The Exorcist.
Poltergeist.
That's a good...
It's close, Scott, but you were right.
Poltergeist.
Mary.
It is Poltergeist.
Oh my God, I got it.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
I want to thank everyone who made this possible. My parents for showing me inappropriate movies that are very
At the age of 6. Yeah.
The reason for the long pause is because I muted to clear my throat because I needed to get that range for the perfect rendition of it.
Right.
For Mary, anyway.
He did. Yeah,
so this episode is our flu game. Chris has the man flu.
Yep.
Mary and I have both been up since 3:30 in the morning, and it's I'm about 10 minutes away from wanting to go to bed. So this may be a short episode. We'll see. We may be at wit's end by the end. Who knows what's going to happen? But buckle in. You're in for a good show as always. Now, we did not do Tuesday Night Football this week because again, Chris was really sick, but we got some voice messages from Bubba Job today.
We did.
And I think what do you think, Chris? Should I play them? Should I not play them?
We'll give a little background. So I was just recording Diz His an hour ago, and listen, business first, pleasure later. So I had to respond to Bubba Job, is what I'm trying to say. So during the podcast, so Bubba Job was just blowing up the phone, telling us, his story that we've told 1,000 times on this show.
And real quick, Chris and I share that Instagram account. It's the No New Friends podcast account. So we're both getting blown up.
And I'm thinking, let me capitalize on Bubba being very active right now. So I immediately message him and say, "Hey, I really want to help you out, but to prove that you're a real person, can you please send me a picture of you holding an American football?" Because I'm just thinking, like, oh man,
we
like,
could do so much with
there's
this.
so much I could do with this. And then I'm thinking, maybe he doesn't have a football. So, and see how cultured I am, how I asked for an American football, because it's a football would be a soccer ball.
Right.
So, and then I say, or just send me a video of you throwing anything, like literally anything. Just send me a video of you throwing something.
Would you feel so bad if you got like a video of him just chucking one of his 57 children or siblings, like just throwing them? Does this work, bro?
Ryan said we should ask him to show us his feet.
Where's Jamesy on? Show
I know,
us
right?
feet.
So here's the first voice message that we got from.
Seeing
Go ahead.
seeing Bubba Jobe's feet might be worse than watching some of those scenes in that Dahmer show.
Right.
Oh.
All right, so here we go. Here's the Bubba Job.
Yes, my dear brother, I do understand you as well, I am a real person, but it is a night going in over here, So right now I'm gonna make a picture and send it to you so that you could believe, I'm a real person.
Okay, so first, was he in a call center?
You could obviously hear the bush, Scott. You could
I don't
obviously
know.
hear the bush.
I thought I heard people in the background. People and like,
The people of the bush, Scott.
Yeah,
Jesus.
come on, man. So, okay, so you know that Key and Peele skit, the Obama translator? So I have to be the Bubba translator because Bubba speaks not great English because he's not American. Well, I guess I don't have to say American. He's not an English speaker. He's a Gambian native, so he speaks Gambinese. So
Is that the language?
I think it might be French, actually. It's probably it's whatever hard
Swahili,
colonized
isn't it?
it.
It's Swahili.
I don't know. It's
Isn't
probably
that
Wow,
the
you
no?
don't even
Swahili is the one
know?
with the Swahili is the ticking and the popping.
Yes, don't think that's Gambia.
Okay.
But we'll get Steve the intern on that. So Steve actually just got back from the Gambia, so we'll figure out once he clears. Never mind, I can't say this stuff. This is really bad. So anyway, Bubba was saying. So I had just asked him to send me a picture or a video of him throwing something, and he
Guys,
said,
the official language of the Gambia is English.
"Oh me, oh my, oh,
Really wish that I was.
my gosh, interesting."
Oh wow.
So Bubba maybe just has a speech impediment.
Oh no, but there's
So-
several tribal languages.
Oh, that would make more sense. That would make more
Yeah.
sense.
Most are at least bilingual.
He's like bi-ish lingual.
He's trilingual. He's trying his best. Okay.
So he was telling me, like, listen, it's nighttime here in the Gambia, and I can't send you a photo or a video, but I will send you this so that I'm a real person, to show you that I'm a real person. So
Yeah.
keep going with the recordings.
So then, every time in Tuesday Night Football, when Bubba Job scores or gets a first down, this audio plays and there's this graphic and it says, "Get Jobed." So I was trying to get him to send us an audio recording of him saying, "Get Jobed." I think that's going to cost me some pine nuts because he hasn't sent it yet.
Yeah.
So then we get a bunch of pictures of
Which
him
one
and his
is
siblings.
he in
and
the
all that.
picture? Is he
He's the one with the wife beater on. He's the tall dude in the back.
That doesn't look like him.
It's him. I can assure you that's him.
What's that?
We've seen several pictures. So then, I asked him, I'm like, "Hey, I want to put you on our podcast so that we can get your information out there and get you more money. Look, we're not going to let our listeners send him money, but I just want to get him on the podcast." So this is his response.
Please, my dear brother, we really need your help. Just anything from your good heart. You'll be grateful and thankful for the help, and God will bless you more in your life as well, bro. Right now, we are sad and worried with my little family, bro. I have been trying to call you, but you could not pick up. But if you have free time, you could let me know, bro.
Okay, so he obviously listened to the Carlos Navarro interview. So so translation, Bubba Job is the messenger of Jesus Christ himself, and he's trying to convey unto us that God will bless us if he helps him. Because I can only assume that that's the word of God. Bubba Job is just relaying the word of God to us, and he's not lying by any means and trying to use religion as a way of trying to get over on someone, because I don't believe he'd do that.
Nobody
So
would
he
ever
was
do
saying,
that.
No, he was saying that, and then bro at the end. Oh, and he assumed that Scott had a good heart.
Right, which I don't, because I
Yeah.
smoke a pack of cigarettes a day.
Oh.
Yeah,
Now,
It's literally
this,
not good.
No, not good. In this one, I could hear the crickets in the background, and it sounded like he was walking on a path. Just
Yes.
my interpretation of the audio.
I
So
did
then
look
he's-
up currency exchange, Scott, for Gambian
Oh.
currency.
Okay.
And it's the Gambian Dalasi. And $1 is 50 Dalasis. So I feel like we could give him $1. And and maybe we start cash apping him $1 every once in a while for stuff. He's gonna be the richest man in Gambia.
I know, right?
Well, I mean, he is a professional football player, so there's that.
Oh, that is true.
Oh yeah, that
true.
is
I keep
true.
forgetting
That
about
is true. So then he says to create a quote for me, and I'm like, "What kind of quote do you need?" But this is after he asked for me to create a GoFundMe, and I'm trying to get him on the podcast. So this
Can
is
you
what I get.
create a go for me?
Yeah, a
That's what
GoFundMe.
he said.
Create a quote for me. Anyway,
What kind of quote do you need?
that's what I said. What kind of quote do you need? I said get jobed. Yeah, exactly. So here we go.
Can you please create a GoFundMe for me and my family, my dear brother? We will be so happy about it, and God will bless you more in your life.
Wait, so if you make a GoFundMe for him and you also send him money,
Yes.
do you get double blessed, or is it like squared? How's
What's the
blessings
conversion
work?
of
Yeah.
currency to blessings?
I would like to know.
I need to know this.
Does he have a chart?
Listen, I don't need blessings. I just need him to record get jobed. That's all I want out of
Right.
this
Yeah.
is get jobed and a
Right.
5-minute interview.
The Lord works in mysterious ways, Scott. Okay, it's on his time. Okay. And on his dime also.
Apparently. So, Chris, you had an exciting week this week.
Exciting
He's
is
sick,
is
Scott.
one
What
way
are
to
you
put it.
talking
God,
about?
Yeah.
Well, this
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Listen,
pretty
this is
morbid,
how this is how Remy starts every episode of Remy's Roundtable. He knows that I work on the weekends. He knows that I had to put my cat down on the weekend. He knows that I do all these terrible things on the weekend, and so he's like, "Hey, so how was your weekend?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's terrible. It's terrible every like I don't
You're
have
like
a weekend."
trash, just like last.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh man, my wife and I had such a great time." And I'm like, "You son of a bitch! Like, what are we doing here? Why? What?"
You could come up with a better segue than, hey, my weekend was
Right.
great.
I was guzzling down hot and sour soup that I couldn't even taste, Scott. How was your week?
Okay, so
No.
before you got your vaginitis,
Wow.
what tell us about your week?
I am highly offended by that, by the way, because you want to know what? Guess what? He's sick. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry to use you as in this, but you're sick and I'm not. Okay, how about that? How about them apples?
What's
Okay.
so funny? What's so funny is Mary texts me, "I'm sick," and I just leave her on red, and I don't respond. Nothing, and I'm like, "Well, are you gonna make it?" And Chris texts me he's sick, and he's like, "Oh man, get some rest. Make sure you drink some hot tea." I'm sending him
I did.
recipes over the phone,
I did just as the doctor ordered.
and now
So
here he
yes.
is.
You
And now
just
here
want
he
me to
is.
walk it off.
Here
It
he is.
is
He walked
true.
it off.
So before I got sick, very exciting milestone in my life. Yes, a lot of you think I don't work, and that's partly true because I don't need to work most of the time. But I do in fact have a career, and I own a small business. It's a transportation company. And last week we settled, not like we like gave up looking, but we like literally went to settlement and bought our first property, which is exciting because my whole life we've been renting places inside, malls and this and that. And now that we shifted to this sort of business, we kind of needed a place for our own with a garage and everything. So we bought a property, and I have instantly become a plumber, a maintenance person, a interior designer. So I'm going nuts I'm trying to do it cheap because we just spent a bunch of money on a property. So I'm trying to, the place was made in the 80s and never updated. There's pink
Oh.
wallpaper,
Oh, I
pink
love
blinds. So I just, it's funny because the place needs a lot of actual things done to it for the place to function, right? So what's the first thing I do is I buy like paint for my office and like literally the first thing I did was paint a shelf in a closet in my office because I wanted it to look different. Like
You're like, meanwhile, go pee in that bucket.
yeah, my dad.
The water will be running later.
Literally,
week.
my dad's cleaning the toilet so it flushes better because there's like blockages in it, and I'm painting a shelf black. He's up on a ladder changing a light bulb, and I'm like wiping my windows down so I can see the outside better in my office. One thing that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy is using and applying contact paper to a wall.
Oh, that's
Have you
the
ever
worst.
tried to? Oh my gosh. Not even a solid color. I did like a brick wall with contact paper, right? So no, it's contact paper that looks like bricks. So it's not a brick wall.
Yeah,
So I didn't.
I get
did a little
that,
accent wall.
But don't they? Oh, I feel like that would be very hard. How do you line?
That's
it?
exactly what he's
yes.
saying. It's
Right?
very
Yeah,
difficult.
so that's the thing.
But what?
Yeah. And you know what? And I
why?
was born in the 90s, not in the 60s, so I never used contact paper for things. And so I put it up, and there's still one strip I need to do, and I'm just putting it off and putting it off and putting it off until I probably will not ever complete this wall.
Just put like a tree.
Yeah,
That's
Put a
not.
tree
Mary, I'm already ahead of you. I'm already thinking. What could I put here that would block off this little section of the wall? I'm telling you,
That
there's
could be
more
your hoarding
bubbles.
corner. You could put
That
all
would be-
your McDonald's
exactly.
toys and Disney stuff.
Exactly, and I have plenty. That there are more bubbles on that wall than I can even count. It's when I get anxious, I can just go over to it and start popping the bubbles like bubble wrap because there are so many
Well, that's
bubbles
good.
on the wall. But if you squint, you can't see them, so that's okay. So I painted the walls. I painted all the other thing. I didn't paint the trim yet because I'm putting that off as well. I did the contact paper, all the essential stuff to get my business up and going. So
Everything you need. There's no front door.
so I don't think I mentioned this, but this is the most me thing ever. I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but did I mention that I bought a robot on the podcast?
No, but you definitely
Okay.
sent video to
Yes.
us or to me. I know you bought a robot,
I know.
but I don't think
Yes.
you talked about it.
Not a sex robot, although maybe
Oh
anything's
my
a sex
God.
robot if you're creative enough. I guess.
Chris, I think when you sent me that video, I asked you, "Is that a sex robot?" And,
I think you might have. So, I signed up months ago to get this thing that Amazon introduced at one of their tech shows or whatever. His name is Astro, and he's a robot, and he's part of the Ring security system. So he's Alexa. I can't say it loud, and he's also part of the Ring security. So he's got the Amazon AI in him. So anyway, you have to sign up for an invitation to get him. It's early access. I signed up and I get the email. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I need to buy it. I was just invited. It's like
you can't turn
no.
it down
Exclusive
now. It's
club.
elite.
Exactly.
It's like-
Exactly.
Yes,
So, because
yes.
I signed up for the invitation in anticipation of flipping him. I'm not going to lie. I was just going to buy him and resell him on eBay because, listen, I can buy him and you can't. So you're going to pay anything you want because you
Right.
can't buy him. So
Yeah.
then I was like, you know what? I think I could spin this to my dad because me and my dad are partners. So I think I can spin this to him because this is a really high-tech security system. So he loved the idea, and we ordered Astro, and he came in a couple days. I set him up in my apartment, and wow, this thing is weird. So he's sitting on the dock. He's sitting on his dock, and then all of a sudden, without even commanding him to do anything, he starts coming off the dock, and I look at his screen, and he goes, heading out. I'm like, where are you heading to? And
he's like, mind your
I
business.
kid you not.
That.
And he starts rolling away, and he makes like a sound when he rolls, like this electronic sound. So he's like eating away, and I look at his, and he's like looking for a place to hang out. I'm like, what business do you have hang out? And I kid you not, he
Know your
he
place,
goes in-
you effing robot.
He goes into the living room, and it says found a place to hang out, and he faces the TV and sits there for an hour and a half watching TV. I'm not. I wish I was making this up. And I looked it up. It was like Astro will look for places in your house to just hang out.
Yeah, Chris, he's trying to understand your patterns and the things that you like.
So that way he can kill you in your sleep and take over.
Yes,
So,
that's
here's
This
the
is how
cool part
Skynet
about it.
takes
Oh
over.
my god.
So
it is.
we got the internet
He's
hooked
gonna
up
scalp
at
you.
our office now today, and I was over there setting him up. So what he does is you say, we set him up, and it says, and you say, go explore, and he goes and maps your house. And then after, it says, take Astro on a tour of your house. And it's like, come on, Astro, let's go. And he follows you. And you go to the center of the room, and you're like, Astro, this is the office. And then he goes, office, got it. And then you go, Astro, this is the break room. And you take him on a tour. And then when the tour is over, he knows all your things. So anyway, I can go on my phone right now, and I can say, Astro, go to the break room. And he'll literally, it shows me a live view of him going into the break room. And I can see, in the break room in live time. And then he's got a periscoping video camera on his head, so he can go up,
God, stop.
4
I
feet in the air. But the
I want to see
the
that.
best part...
Astro, go to Mary's house.
The best part is you can set up vantage points for him to go to. So I put one at the door. So can you imagine, someone goes up to the door, I say, Astro, go to the door, and you just see this robot roll up to the door, and he has eyes. So he'll look up at you, and he blinks and it winks and stuff.
How tall? How big
He's
is he?
a foot and a half tall.
He's that
He's very
small?
small, but he's got this he's got a telescope in his head that's a camera that shoots up in the air, so he can get 4 feet tall.
It's this is the only thing that Chris feels like a giant around.
And then the best part about it is because women are usually opposed to I hate to say this, but unnecessary purchases because they're fiscally responsible, unlike men. So in the commercial for Astro, he comes with a cup holder attachment. And the guy puts a beer in Astro and says, take this to the living room. And his wife gets the beer. And she's like, all right, we can keep it. So he does have 2 cup holders on the back of him for no apparent reason. Yeah, so we have a 24/7 security. Oh, and coolest part is I program him to just patrol the place every 2 hours. What does it do? I don't know, but the fact that I can click a button to make him patrol the office every 2 hours, I thought was pretty
what
cool.
happens if he does? What happens if he stumbles upon some sort of situation?
He'll call me. He literally will call me.
Will he call you?
Me.
Or what if somebody faints or is hurt? Would he call you or 911?
He called me, and then I make the decision. If I like the person, we call 911. If I don't, I never saw it.
What if it's you?
Does he
What
know
if
how
you
to
fall?
do CPR?
If I fall, he
Yeah.
actually knows me.
He calls
He has
you.
facial recognition for me. So if he can come look for me. It sounds really creepy, but it's when you go on the app, it says command Astro where to go, and it's rooms, vantage points, people. So you go to people, and then I click me, it says finding Chris. And it goes and searches the property for me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Whenever he kills you in your sleep, the name of the movie is going to be called Finding Chris.
Pretty fun, non-terrifying, just normal, average, everyday stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
We're going to take a quick break. Scotty York is going to be with us next week. I know I keep saying that, but we had a lot going on this week, and he had to postpone to next week. So Scotty York's going to be here with us next week. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, it's Scott from the No New Friends podcast. If you'd like to hear all of our episodes, all of our past episodes, just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links to all of our old episodes are there. If you didn't understand an inside joke or just wanted to re-listen to something, just check it out. It's nonewfriendspodcast.com, or you can check us out on all streaming platforms.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hi, this is comedian Miguel Colon, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Now, Mary, I know that you experienced this, but I've got to tell you about two really, really good sleep stories that I had this week. And like, you're getting up there in age.
Oh, why are we talking about sleep right now when I'm so tired? I'm like, oh yeah, tell me more. Was there a pillow involved? What about a fan?
It didn't matter. So on Sundays, I always open, and that means I'm up at 3:30 in the morning. Well, this past Saturday, Florida State had an 8:00 game, and it got delayed to 8:15, and then it went down to the wire. Like so it was midnight when I was going to sleep on Saturday, Sunday morning, and then up at 3:30 in the morning. So super tired. I come home and I take a nap because I had to. Mary, I slept so hard that my alarm goes off at 6:00 p.m. Because I was waking up to do something. I don't know if it was Oregon Trail or do something. And I wake up at 6 p.m. and
be an adult,
right, parent my child. And
yeah, that's wild.
I started to get ready for work. I was like, okay.
Oh no.
So I at 6:00, I got to start getting ready for work. Yeah, that's how hard I slept. And then I finally came to, and I was like, oh no, I just took a nap. I'm off the next 2 days.
Did you feel so relieved though? Like it was like almost an extra day.
It was.
I actually don't have to do anything.
Yeah, and it was only like a 2-hour nap, but man, did it feel good.
Yeah, we forgot what year it was.
Exactly.
Oh, I love those.
So the next day's even better. So I play golf with my dad on Monday. Okay. And we started playing at about 11:40 p.m. I didn't drink that much, but I had a nice buzz going on. But I was tired from being in the sun all day.
11:40 p.m.
Sorry, 11:40 a.m. Sorry,
sir.
11:40 a.m.
I know Rich would not be out golfing at such an hour.
Sorry, 11:40 a.m. So I get home about 4:30, and I don't go right to sleep, but I take a shower, and I'm tired as hell. It's like 7:00, and I look at Rachel, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take a 1-hour nap, and she's like, yeah, go for it. 1-hour nap turned into 7 a.m. the next morning, so I slept for like 12 hours. Here's the funny thing, and it was like a solid sleep. So here's the funny thing, and this is why I wanted to talk about this, because you guys are gonna have fun with this. So in my, like when you're starting to come to and you're not completely conscious yet. So I have this $1 billion idea. Oh, God, and it almost springs me awake because immediately I want to call Chris, because Chris is like really good with technology. And
wow.
No, Chris is really good with stuff. You could be our marketing manager. You could be our marketing manager for it. Okay. I'm sure you would do a fantastic job.
No, thank you. I'm very busy.
So I'm like, okay, I've got to call Chris because Chris can design this app. So I come up with this $1 billion idea. I'm like, okay, how many golf balls did I lose yesterday? I probably lost a dozen golf balls, probably 3 in the water, 3 in the woods, and then 6 more in like high grass that I just couldn't find it. I'm like, so how many balls do we lose that are actually findable? And I'm like, I need to invent this chip to put inside the golf ball that links to an app that I can retrieve this ball. It'll pinpoint GPS this exact location of this ball. And I'm like, okay, I got to call Ricky to help me design this. I've got to call Chris. Chris can do the app. Mary can do the marketing. I'm like, this is a brilliant idea. And then as I'm starting to come to a little bit, but I'm not completely with it, I'm like, wait a second. I don't want to be in the ball manufacturing business. I don't want to make golf balls. I'm like, I'm going to just sell the chip to Titleist or Top Flight or the other golf ball brands. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell the technology to them, and we're going to become super rich. When I finally came to
by chipping balls.
Chipping balls, exactly. When I finally came to, Mary, I was like, that was the dumbest idea I've ever come up with in my entire life. Like, I'm so glad I didn't call Chris to say, hey, you want to jump on this ball business with me?
Oh my God. Whoa.
If you presented it like that, I probably would have said yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like an entirely different business. I don't.
So anyway, the whole point of that was how hard I slept. That I had this $1 billion idea that, and I do remember waking up not being completely to it. And I told Rachel, she was getting ready for work, and I'm like, I have this $1 billion idea. We're gonna be rich, and I'm like, we're gonna chip golf balls. And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, that way we can find golf balls that are retrievable, like not the ones that go in the water or the ones that go in the forest or whatever, like the ones that are retrievable. And
so the 12% of
exactly. And Mary,
lost.
this is why this is a terrible idea. The expense alone on now this golf ball with the chip doesn't make it worth it. Like, right now, like there's the most expensive ball is like Top Flight 2VC or whatever. It's $50 for a dozen. So if we chip all those balls, it's now like $100 to $200 for a dozen. Like, who cares?
I can't handle you saying chipping balls.
Yeah.
Because I'm a
My wife doesn't have to chip my balls. They're secure in her purse. Thank you, Ryan. I'll cut that out. I didn't get a laugh. So, Mary, any hard naps that that you've had or anything like that?
No, I really wish that I have had hard naps. I don't have time to nap, and I'm not a good napper. I can't do it. I'm too anxious. I lay there and think about all the things that I need to be doing instead of napping. Or the kids come in, or I will. There has been a time or two where Mike Reedy's like, "Hey, I know you're exhausted. Why don't you go? Like, just hide in the room or whatever." And I'll try to nap, but I'll turn on like a murder doc or something, and I'll start to like feel myself settling in, and then I'll hear something exciting happen, and I like cock one eye open, and then I'm up. Like, I can't. I knew better. I shouldn't have done it. But now, I can't go to sleep without something in the background. If it's too quiet, I can't sleep. I can't nap. I can't do any of that. So I have been lulling myself to sleep to the sweet, sweet sound of Robot Chicken every night. Yeah,
Chris has a real robot. You use Robot Chicken. Your Echo has like ocean sounds or storm sounds.
Yeah, I've heard from your hurricane story. Right. I don't want to listen to that. You know what?
There's also murder documentaries.
Jokes.
It's fine.
I don't know. I just need things like that. But no, I do need a nap though. I'm very tired. I just wish I could nap. There's been a time or two where I've slept really hard at night with my arm over my head. And it's almost like but I don't know it's my arm because I lose complete feeling in it. And I feel it like touching me and I don't know what it is. And it's my own arm.
I put my arm to sleep right before I go to Costco by myself.
Yeah, it's called The Stranger. It's called
Scott,
The Stranger.
you need my robot, man.
Oh my gosh. The robot's too small and innocent. I feel like that's weird.
Yeah, I need a bigger robot. Exactly.
Right. That's not what I meant.
Chris, are you
this is okay.
Are you a napper at all, Chris?
Yeah, recently I've become a napper, and it's usually just to get some damn peace and quiet, Scott. Because when you're taking a nap, no one bothers you. Because it's like, I have a nap. I need to go take a nap. It's almost like a smoke break. Like, I'm jealous of your smoke breaks. I contemplated started smoking just so I could, take breaks places. It's like, all right, guys, got to go smoke. You can't just say, like, listen, I've dealt with really bad anxiety my whole life. When I'm having a panic attack in a normal setting, I can be like, hey guys, got to take a panic attack break and walk outside. But if I smoked, I could say, hey guys, going to take a smoke break. No one would bat an eye, right? So anyway.
Listen, because that is an addiction, sir. Anxiety.
Well, anxiety's an addiction to me.
Listen,
now,
I support this.
So anyway,
smokers get more
back
break.
to naps.
Wait, Hattie, I need to understand why you think that when someone is napping, no one bothers
Well, because I don't have
It
kids.
is the opposite
Because
in
I don't
my
have
world.
kids, Mary. That's why.
Ryan says Chris doesn't need a nap. He sleeps till 2 p.m. every damn day.
Listen, after a couple hours being
Not
up.
now. He's got to go paint shelves and shit. He can't. He is busy.
Now I'm wrestling with
okay?
contact paper for 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
So,
See?
so yeah, no, you know what? And it's a nice little event for me. And call it a siesta. Don't call it a nap. So, to get my dog, put my dog on the bed. She cuddles up in a little ball down at the end. Tries to bite my feet every time I roll around. Wakes me up out of a deep sleep.
Scott also naps with his dogs, but it's not quite.
He calls them naps. He doesn't get any sleep though. So yeah, man, I have turned into a big napper, and you know what? It's a nice. I used to hate naps. I sleep when I'm dead. You turn about 25, 26, you start to really value that nap.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate the naps where I wake up and I just don't know where the hell I am. You ever have those?
Yeah.
That's
I got ready for work.
Scott's life.
Yeah. So it's like, no, like I don't know my name. Like I look in the mirror.
Chris, Chris, when I wake up from a nap and not know where I am, I really don't know where I am. It could be on a park bench. It could be anywhere else that I've passed out.
Could be dressed up as a clown in some random person's house.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
That was a John Wayne Gacy joke.
Usually there's a fedora
I got
around
that.
somewhere.
It was fresh.
Empty
It was
Bud Light.
oh, it was fresh.
So yeah, the worst naps are the ones where I wake up and I look in the mirror and I don't even recognize myself. I hate those. Those scare me. And then I hate when it gets dark early because you wake up and it's dark, and then that really messes you. Then you're just depressed for 3
Panic.
Yeah,
weeks.
you get
Yes,
very
yes.
confused.
Yeah, I literally like that. Those are the kind of naps that literally make me depressed for I'm depressed for 3 weeks straight after that. Like I just don't know where I am. Like I spend the next 3 weeks just trying to recalibrate myself. So
It's a good thing you have a robot. You'll be like, fine, Chris. Recalibrate Chris.
so yeah, naps, big fan early in the day.
Yeah, your robot shakes you awake, reminds you it's time to read open your Pokemon cards.
Oh, then he doesn't need to remind me of that. I always keep a pack right in my pocket just in case I get that itch, which I do every day. It's really bad. His help.
Oh, the itch is really bad. What kind of-
What?
They make cream for that. He said the itch was
Oh.
really bad.
I wish they made cream for it, Mary. My credit card would be very happy.
Mary, so the reason why you're so tired, you're in school, you're working, it's craziness.
Yeah.
How's school going?
It's madness. It's madness. It is madness. I thought that I would be getting my life together if I bought a planner. And I started writing.
There's a lot more,
I love how
Mary,
you
there's a lot more you need to do to get your life together than just buy a goddamn planner.
One step at a damn time, Scott, okay? There's 12-step programs, not leaps, okay?
You're on step point
Jesus. Okay, whatever. Everybody starts somewhere. God, you wanted to chip balls, okay? Shut up. Damn. Okay, listen. What happened was I almost missed an assignment last term. And if you know anything about me and my academia, I have a 4.0 and I refuse to lose that. So I freaked out, and now that I'm working a lot, I cannot allow this to happen. So between school and work and assignments and deadlines and getting kids to dance and volleyball and whatever they're doing, I was like, if I write it down, I will remember it. I'll have it in front of me. I'm a little bit of a purist. I like to write things down. I can put it in my phone. It's not the same though. I want to check it off. It's very
I'm the
satisfying
same with
to
you.
me.
I'm the same with you, Mary. 100%.
I need that. It's because we're old, Scott. That's why. We're old. But I don't care. I bought a planner and it's great. What I didn't factor into when I was like scheduling out what I was going to do. What?
Mary, the last
Chuckling.
test that you failed was that drug test.
I did fail that.
Did you really?
Or I passed it. I don't know. Well, here's the thing. So for school, they were like, yeah, you failed it. And that's it. And I was like, do you want, like, they already have my medical record, so. But for work, I called, like, ahead of time. I freaked out. I was like, I am going to fail this. But they still haven't asked for my actual prescription, so.
They just don't care.
I don't know.
They're short. They're short-staffed.
Maybe, I don't know. But it worked out so far. Or I'll get a call tomorrow and they'll be like, actually, you're fired. And then I'll take a nap. I don't know. So where was I? Oh, so what I didn't factor in though is like in my little planner, I had like to-doodles, my little to-dos, and I tried to space out assignments and things. I didn't factor in like sleep and like eating and things like that. I had a lot of things that I had to get done. We have to do discussion posts, which I think are the dumbest things. I don't know if anybody has ever had to make a discussion board post in college, but it's garbage. It's a hot pile of garbage. You have to respond and do it's just so dumb, man. You're like, oh yes, Stephen, I do see your point on mental health. It's dumb. You have to interact with people online. I don't like it. I don't even like interacting with people online. It's terrible.
I do, but it's usually cost me a little bit of money.
Show us your feet. Okay. I was so tired last night and just like out of it. I APA 7th edition cited Tyrone Biggums. And if you don't know who that is from Chappelle's Show, the 5 o'clock free crack giveaway.
Oh.
You got any more of that crack cocaine? That's, yes.
You just said free crack, and all our Polk County listeners just started paying attention.
Right up. I think it was a very unique approach to the topic of addiction and how society and the media portray it as a very black and white. Either you're very addicted and you're Tyrone Biggums, or, you know, you're the Wolf on Wall Street. Like, there's no, like, in between or, like, functioning addiction. Anyways, in my tired delirium, it made perfect sense that I should put that in.
Just like it made perfect sense that you could chip a golf ball.
Yeah, no, that's what I was at that level. That's where I was. I am afraid. I have anxiety to look back and see what the response was. I can't look. I'm afraid to see what's going to come from it. So that's fine. It's okay. It'll be okay. So yeah, I still have a 4.0 though, so that's cool.
That's great.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, do worse though,
thanks.
because 4.0 is not good for content. Start failing some quizzes.
I need you to get to a
I
3.95.
can't, no. Guys, I can't.
3.95.
No.
3.95.
Yeah, we need
Don't
edgy
say that.
3.95.
No.
3.95.
need, like,
I'm
on
gonna will
edge.
it.
I did a.
Yes.
No,
Chris. No, if
Listen, you know
if she
what?
gets to a 3.99, she's gonna be like, I need to cut something out of my life podcast. So
That's
let's
gonna be the first
Mary.
thing. I gotta
Scott's gonna
trim
start
Mary,
paying for your
that.
I've
tutor.
already made you flashcards. We'll study them together. Okay, I will drill you on all of your words that you need to learn and all that. I just wanted to say flash and drill in the same.
You know what? I
sentence.
did pick up on that. I was about to go right to the cliff notes, but I'm glad you picked up something on that.
Oh,
You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, we've got another top 10 Halloween list. We've got your Florida man, Jersey man, Chris's Cliff Notes, and much more. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
Lizard people, the moon landing, birds aren't real. Hi, this is Chris from the No New Friends podcast, and if you're hearing this message, you were selected to join the resistance. For as low as $1 a month, join our Patreon and help us uncover the truth. Upon joining us, you will be invited to our secret Discord, where we help spread these truths. You will be invited to watch our live recordings where the government cannot interfere. For more information, please send a messenger pigeon to my underground bunker or visit us at www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. This message will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, comedian James John, and you are listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. So we don't have a Bubba Job update because Bubba Job had a bye week this week, aka Chris was really sick and could not play video games when he's sick. So that'll come back next week, right? Tuesday Night Football next week.
Yeah,
right?
you know I'm sick when I can't even just play a video,
that's what I was
game.
gonna say.
Yeah.
I think that. Listen,
Yeah.
that is a better indication of a fever. than
Right.
a thermometer, I
Yeah,
think.
listen, I love any excuse to sit down for 4 hours and play Madden. But yeah, it just was
For
not
content,
was not
you have
doing
to.
it. Yeah, it was not happening.
Well, the thing is we will have a lot of content over the next week or two on Twitch because
Yeah.
we got to get our hours up so we don't lose our affiliate status, because then Chris will get the wrath of me if we lose our affiliate status.
yeah.
That's why I'm playing Oregon Trail all the time, just to keep our
I'm gonna have
numbers
to
up.
change my name.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go into
Skip
witness
town.
protection. Astro, protect Chris.
Periscope out.
All right, Chris, you got another top 10 list for us. for us.
I do. And this was actually from a very reputable website.
Spoon
this
University.
was from
What's her favorite?
cheatsheet.com.
Oh, cheat sheet.
That's
Yes,
actually that is
dot
very
com.
that is very
Yes.
reputable.
Coming
Chris,
in.
There you go.
I think I cited that before.
Yeah, see,
don't know.
it's a scholarly site.
Yes.
So this one was a spoof film, and don't know if you guys know of it. There is no Rotten Tomatoes score available for this film. This film is called Wacko.
Okay. Is
Okay,
this
I'm
is
just
this the top 10 list or the bottom 10
This
list?
is the worst movies ever.
Okay.
made.
Wacko. Never
The
heard of
worst
it.
Ones.
I mean, I
Num-
did watch a lot of it during the 2020 election on Fox News.
Oh Lord.
Number 9 is Halloween Night, coming in at a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Halloween Night. I've never heard of
Yeah,
it.
this was an attempt at Halloween, but without buying the rights to Michael Myers. So they just did the same exact story, but with it was literally the same movie.
It was
but,
like the Wish version of Halloween.
Yes, it was
Oh,
exactly like
yeah.
that. Didn't pan out for them. If China made it, it would have worked though, because they're very good at that. Number 8, also coming at 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, is Stan Helsing. We're seeing a pattern here.
Is that Van
Yeah,
Helsing's
we're-
brother?
We're seeing a pattern here. Spoof movies do not go well in the box office.
Wait a
Wow.
second. Are these Halloween porn? Is that what you're looking up? Is
you know what?
Oh,
This
wow.
next picture actually could be a porno. This one star
next picture? What are you, 93?
Okay, no. There's literally a picture.
Gotta watch my stories. Gotta watch my stories. And did you see that picture? That Halloween picture with
knew
the
what he
lady
was-
and she was in her bustiers.
Oh my god. Scott, this is how we know that there is a difference between you and I, because I was with Chris on that. I knew he meant an actual picture.
So
This next feature film.
the person that
better?
starred in this movie.
So Ryan said we never explained what we're doing. We're doing the top 10 worst Halloween
didn't?
movies.
Oh.
No, I guess not. We just went right
we
into
not?
it.
Oh, I was
Okay,
ready
look,
to
we
go.
need-
okay. So this,
My name says I
you know what? Surprisingly enough, this actor in this movie actually has a lot of great movies. So I'm surprised he was in this. Kenan Thompson. Kenan Thompson starred in this movie, and he's usually up for a Oscar, usually every year for
Any movie he's
he
in is a
stars
horror movie to me.
So that was that. Number 7
Don't
is The
understand
Pumpkin
what you-
Carver. Now, this one, this guy decides to dress up as a masked serial killer to scare his girlfriend, and the brother takes the joke seriously and stabs the guy to death.
Oh,
So actually, sounds kind of funny. I mean, I'd probably laugh at that. Like, that's kind of funny.
right.
Like that's
It's like
pretty
Pranks
funny.
Gone Wrong. You can watch them on
Yeah.
Facebook. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, but that's like really wrong.
Number 6, you guys actually heard of this movie, so this gets a little more interesting. The Wicker Man, starring Nicolas Cage.
I have heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I've never heard
he
of
travels to a secluded island to search for a girl who has gone missing, and once he arrives, he discovers the island's residents have some genuinely sinister rituals and beliefs. The Wicker Man is a Halloween movie remake that should have never occurred, that involved Cage
Yeah, I
dressing
mean-
up like a bear and punching a nun.
What?
it. I mean, that sounds awesome, but I think wicker furniture is a nightmare. So I
Oh,
can
yeah.
see why this would be awful.
It also sounds like just
Yeah.
a weekend at Draymond Green's house.
Crazy as that, man.
Right? Draymond Green is a basketball player that punched his own teammate in practice.
Yeah, he probably deserved it. Number 5 is Jacko. You remember this one? This one is from 1995, and Jacko was a horror movie based on a resurrected wizard with a pumpkin head, who is
Jacko.
awakened and seeks vengeance for his death by hunting down his killer's ancestors. Okay, so here's the whole thing. Like, do we really have to hold our ancestors accountable for their crimes?
Well,
I think this movie's really about
well,
repartations.
easy.
No, seriously, this movie could be spun as repartations, and
Reparations?
I don't know. I think it's repartations.
I think
he's
that-
committed. He's committed to the Remyism
I'm
of the
doubling
night.
down on repartations. So this is actually a Civil War era flick. I think. Anyway.
That's actually what it was. Oh my
This is
God.
basically Django Unchained, but with a jack-o'-lantern head. But it's a wizard with a pumpkin head.
I mean, same difference.
Number 4, Halloween Resurrection. This was actual Halloween movie with Michael Myers.
Wow.
This is a movie that actually they poured
Okay.
millions of dollars into and got 12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Most
Jamie
of the
Lee
Halloween
Curtis-
movies are not good.
No, Jamie Lee Curtis was in this. Jamie Lee Curtis just starred in Halloween 16, so good for her. Did you know that Michael Myers' mask is just a William Shatner mask? Pink and
Yes.
white?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard
how
that.
like that's probably like how would you feel if someone used your face as like one of the most terrifying horror masks of all time? They just blew out his hair a little bit.
That's why in 2020 Donald Trump was the number one Halloween costume.
Number 3 is Space Invaders. Do you guys remember this one from
I
1990?
do. I remember that.
Narrative follows Green Martians who land in Illinois. Listen, going to Illinois is scary enough. Now you got aliens on Halloween because they believe they are supposed to invade Earth. That's where the interesting aspects of this narrative end. Instead, they befriend 2 humans and use their space technology to fight off a killer robot. So basically E.T., but with a robot this time. We got a robot now.
Okay.
Well, Astro.
Number 2 is Troll 2. Listen, Troll 1 might have been a good movie. Don't make a sequel. Don't make a sequel.
Like the troll, like the kind with the big puffy hair that have a jewel in their
No,
belly.
No, that was
Meaning
that
the-
was a DreamWorks flick starring Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, this one, Troll
Yeah.
this was one of my ancestors, Troll. Someone my height.
Someone who lives under a
Oh,
bridge.
like the ones that live
And
under a
collects
bridge. Okay,
rings.
got it.
Yes, yeah. So Troll 2 is a movie without a single troll. So that tells you just how good it is. The film follows Joshua, who doesn't want. The film follows Joshua, who doesn't want to go on vacation with his family to the town of Nilbog because he fears that goblins are running amok in this town.
He's right.
His parents ignore him, of course, until they encounter the evil creatures for themselves. Did we mention there are goblins but no trolls? Also, Nilbog is goblin spelled backwards.
I know, I was going to say, isn't that goblin spelled backwards?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I
I
want to
know,
watch
now
it now.
it's so bad. It's so bad too. Like it's so bad. Okay, and the number 1 is Son of the Mask, which was the sequel. So this is perhaps no other Halloween themed film or sequel worse than the cringeworthy Son of the Mask. It's honestly a disgrace to Jim Carrey's incredible work and good name. This movie follows Tim Avery, a cartoonist who is living a peaceful life with his family in suburbia. Things take a turn when the family dog uncovers a mysterious mask. The movie is a disaster. Kennedy doesn't have Carrey's comedic and his antics in The Mask are just disturbing and annoying. If you can find it in your heart to still appreciate Halloween after this Halloween-themed film, then you are a better person than us. I'll tell you what.
Oh.
I do. Maybe we do a Patreon appreciation night and watch Troll 2 together.
Oh, yes.
I would like
That
to
would be
watch
Troll
it.
2.
fantastic.
We might have to go on the dark web to find a copy of this. 'Cause I don't know if any streaming service is paying for the rights to Troll 2. But and maybe once we get a little bit bigger, we'll do a No New Friends funded trip to Nilbog.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
like
there we
it.
go.
Yeah.
Or the Gambia, because Bubba Job is blowing me up
Oh,
again.
that's true. That is true.
And it's fine because we speak English, which is
Oh, that's great. All right, are you guys ready to play Florida Man versus Jersey Man?
Woohoo.
All right, every week Ryan brings us 2 news stories. We've got to guess if it's a Jersey Man story or a Florida Man story. So take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan from the No New Friends newsroom located this week at Dane's house. He was feeling a bit down since Chris said he wasn't going to go to the Renaissance Fair with him, so I came over to cheer him up.
Hey guys, it's okay. Chris, I understand the weather's going to suck and you don't want to go out in it. It's all cool.
Hey Dane, look at that girl outside in the rain.
Wait a minute, that's not a little girl. That's Chris. Why is he wearing a women's raincoat?
Pretty sure he gets his clothes out of the trash cans. He may have found it. He's heading over to the Renaissance Fair.
What? What do you mean he's heading over to the Renaissance Fair? Why would he do that?
Some people are just bad friends.
He's going to the Renaissance Fair without me. Continue with your news. I can't. I'm going to go kick his ass.
No, Dane, he's not worth it. You'll break his fragile little bones. Plus, you'll look like you're fighting a small child, and that's just not a good look.
You're right. It's not worth it. Okay, continue. I don't know.
Why don't you sit down and relax, and we'll get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man.
I need a glass of water.
In our first story, animal control is called to capture a fake parrot.
I need to compose myself. In our second story, a man went to the Renaissance Fair without his friend and didn't tell him what he was doing.
Whoa. Dane, read the story I gave you.
I'm sorry. In our second story, your boyfriend is jailed after felonious cheeseburger battery at Burger King.
All right, so that was really fun. Oh, the whole skit. We got a whole show tonight.
God.
And that was Dane from Big Beautiful Diz. Thank you, Dane.
That was amazing.
All right, so do we have the parakeet?
Wow.
Or what was the other one? I'm so focused on
burger. Something about burgers.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go Burger, Florida, Parrot, New Jersey.
I'm gonna go the opposite. Parrot, Florida.
I'm with Mary. Parrot.
Burger, Jersey.
I'm with Mary. Parrot, Florida, Burger, Jersey. Let's see what the answer is.
Our first story was from New Jersey, where an animal control officer responding to a report of a parrot on the loose in a wooded area. He arrived to find it was actually a decorative ceramic parrot. Police are still on the lookout for a ceramic pirate who abandoned his bird in the woods. I guess everybody in New Jersey's abandoning their friends.
Our second story was from the Pennsylvania Renaissance, from Florida, where during an argument at Burger King, a Florida man threw a cheeseburger at his girlfriend with such force that the sandwich struck the back of her head. The woman fell over a curb onto the ground. As a bald man was walking wearing a No New Friends t-shirt, picked up the burger and ate it while walking away from the scene. No food is wasted with him, police say.
And in other news, we found a story about a 21-year-old woman from Texas who quit her job to make 6 figures a month acting like a dog on OnlyFans. She plays fetch, walks around on a leash, does everything a dog does. This is the part where Scott reminds you just how important it is to join Patreon for just $2 a month.
I bet when that payment comes out, it says heartworm medication, because in his bank statement, his wife, doesn't find out.
That's it for this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
I wish that was 20 more minutes.
I know, right?
I literally wish that I need a nebulizer treatment after this.
Clearly, guys, the two of them need to start a podcast. that was
off to you
so
guys.
Good.
Oh my god. That was incredible.
Nice job,
Nicely
guys.
done, gentlemen.
Chris, you got any cliff notes for us?
I do. I have a few. So Scott talked about how great of a nap that he took. He described it as a really hard sleep, and that was the hardest thing that happened in that bed in a very long time.
No.
He then said that he woke up to $1 million idea, and for our Polk County folk that listen, that would be the equivalent of an 800 pounds of meth idea.
This show is all about conversions. We're converting U.S. dollars to Gambian money and if you millions into meth.
If you look at my search history, it's literally Gambian currency,
millions to
and
meth.
then conversion of meth to U.S. dollars. I literally looked up the price of meth for that joke. That's how much I've put into this show. $1,250 a pound, just in case you're wondering. In Florida. I looked up the Florida prices. So, Scott said his golf ball idea was the worst idea he has ever had in his life. Scott, let me remind you that we used to do this 3 times a week. Oh, I'm not going to be able to bring this to you. Oh my god.
We were excited about it.
You're gonna die over this.
Mary, do you remember we would start at like 10 o'clock in the morning and we would record. Hey, you want to record? Yeah, let's do it. Hey, no, the biggest drama was, hey, boo, I can't record at 10. Why not? I'm at the grocery store. And I'm like 2 days in a row you're at the grocery store.
You mean you have to feed your children?
I used to get so mad.
Are we gonna get
I used to get so mad every day you're at the grocery store.
Oh my gosh. Mary bought a planner and tried to tell us that it was a good way of getting her life together. That reminds me when I would tell Emily that I was investing our wedding money by playing online roulette. Spoiler alert, I'm now so broke I reached out to Bubba Job to make a GoFundMe page for me.
A
Go for me page.
Go for me.
So we've all established how tired we are on this podcast. Scott is tired from work. Mary is tired from school. And I'm tired of running into people at Wawa that I went to high school with. So, seriously, stop. Please stop. I grew my hair out and wear a hat all the time now just so I can be unnoticeable. I try to look homeless so people don't know who I am and people still recognize me. So lastly, we went over a top 10 worst Halloween movie, and my pick actually didn't make the list. Mine was Scott's attempt at a sex tape. And those are my cliff notes.
Hey, it's Alex from Diz His, and unlike the current podcast to listen to, we are looking for friends. So head over to dizhiz.com or find us on all social media at dizhiz65 or on your podcast platforms, search for Diz His, D-I-Z-H-I-Z. Myself with Joe, Jen, and even Chris. We take a Disney subject every week and go over the history, as well as any information we might know ourselves. Again, find us on any podcast platforms under Diz His.
Chris, what do you got going on Diz's this week?
So this is brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations, which is my favorite travel agency. And it's because, first of all, it's because the people there are great. We had Nick from Sandpiper on last week, and Nick's just an all-around great guy, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Him, his husband, and his daughter, he posts pictures of them all the time going on their vacations, and they're just such great people.
Beautiful.
So
family.
when you support Sandpiper, you're supporting him, you're supporting his agents, and it's normal, average, everyday people. It's not a CEO, it's not a big corporation. You're supporting families. And if you're gonna go to Disney World or Universal or go on a vacation, the price that you pay, it's if you get a travel agent, it's already the same price. So if you pay for it through Disney or you pay for it through a travel agent, you're paying for the same money and you're paying for the same thing, but sometimes the travel agents, and most times travel agents, can save you money. So just why not book through a travel agent? It's the biggest no-brainer, I think, ever. And I will always book through a travel agent after finding out how easy it is to book through a travel agent. So
right,
Sandpipervacations.com. Tell them the No New Friends podcast sent you. You can fill out a free quote, and just tell them we sent you, and that'll, Nick will get you the best deal out there. So this week on Diz His, we have Remy from Remy's Roundtable, and formerly known as Goof Duck, on to talk about. I don't know what we're talking about. I really don't know what it's called. It's a very
stage show.
It's a Castle stage show, and Disney Mania too.
Disney Mania and the Castle main stage show, but not Kids of the Kingdom. Although, you talked about Kids of the Kingdom a lot.
Yeah. In other words, Remy came to us with an idea, and there was not a lot of history on it, so we had to combine 6 different things into one to make history. It turned out to be a really fun episode. We very nostalgic for me, because Disney Mania was a CD that I frequently listened to when I was little. It's a really fun one. Remy's on. Remy's dad was a part of the stage shows there, and that's why Remy's on. He gives cool backstories on the show and kind of some behind-the-scenes looks at what it's like to be the child of someone who works at Disney, which is pretty cool.
You can connect with Diz His 65 on all social media, or go to their website, dizhiz.com. You can connect with us by checking out our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out all of our sweet merchandise, and you can also join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. And that's our Patreon. For as low as $1 a month, you can watch us record live. And I got to tell you, the people who got to watch this one live, we're in for a treat today. So everybody watching tonight, you're welcome. Although we did stream this entire episode on Twitch, so everybody got to see that. So world, you're welcome. Anyway, join our Patreon for as low as $1 a month. You can watch all of our live episodes. On behalf of Mary, Chris, Ryan, and Dane, my name's Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.